Hi, welcome back. It's a great day for the bulls on Dalal Street. So the Sensex is now up over 330 odd points and the Nifty has scored a century. A lot of stocks, ICICI Bank, Reliance, Axis, HDFC Bank, all hitting new highs today. Titan, Jubilant Life, Havels as well, hitting fresh 52 and all-time highs for many of these companies. But oil marketing companies have floated a fresh tender for procuring 910 million litres of ethanol. Tarun Sani, the Vice Chairman and MD of Triveni Engineering, joins us now to tell us how much they plan to bid and if they have sufficient capacity to make these bids. Tarun, hi, good morning. This is basically our question. Do you plan to bid at all? And if yes, do you have enough capacity, sufficient capacity there?
Yes, hi, good morning. So I think this bid of 91 crore litres by the OMCs, the fresh bid, is going to be subscribed. I'm fairly hopeful that the industry will pull together and subscribe the entire amount. Now, what actually gets finally agreed upon, the purchase orders that will be released, will probably not be 91 crore litres. It'll be, I would estimate, about 80% of that if we're lucky. But nevertheless, I think that augurs very well for the ethanol blending program. So this year, we're looking at about 7.5% to 8% blending across the country, which is a staggering figure and an all-time record.
Good morning, Tarun. Thanks for joining us. You know, the overall requirement of ethanol has been estimated at 330 crores. So there is still more to go, you would say.
Well, 230 crores were the purchase orders that were issued at the first tender. Now, of this 91 crore litres tender that has recently been floated, if we assume that 80% actually gets finalized and purchase orders are released, then we're inching towards that mark of 10% blending of 330 crore litres. So we're coming pretty close. And I think what we really need to look at is the geographic span of the country. So you're going to see states like Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Karnataka, blending between 9 and 10%, or even closer to 10%. So there is no space to actually go beyond that. Now, the states that are further away, the states where you don't have distillery capacity, where you don't have ethanol production, where transport costs are the main hurdle to supplies to depots in those states, will probably have lower, actually not probably, have lower blending rates. So, you know, we're coming towards actually the cap of blending as per the 10% mandate by the central government.
Okay. So what's for you in it? I mean, how much do you expect to make from your ethanol unit in your total revenues?
So, excellent question. You know, we will be tendering in this 91 crore program. We have some spare capacity, some additions to the capacities that we've made, and we're certainly going to be participating in that. Now, a lot of our capacities were already committed, so I anticipate that we will only be at Triveni tendering for about 1.2 to 1.5 crore litres, which is a fraction of what is actually required. But next year, for Triveni, we have an increase in our capacities of over 100%. So in that scenario, as per subsequent tenders, whenever they come up, we will be participating very aggressively in those programs.
So when your capacity increases by over 100% next year, how are you planning to fund that? What is the exact capex plan and where will the money come from?
Well, as you're well aware, the Cabinet has approved several schemes for providing loans to sugar millers that are setting up new ethanol capacity. And we will be beneficiaries of that. So the equity portion, of course, comes from internal accruals, and we will be benefiting from the schemes that the central government has provided. Now, I must add that there was a recent scheme that was approved about a fortnight ago, and I think this will ensure that we will increase the overall capacity in the country by about 80%. Now, we at Triveni started investing in our new distilleries a few years ago, and therefore we will be ready for production now. And as you know, it takes about 2 years from the go-ahead to actually going from the go-ahead of capital commitment to actually producing ethanol. So you know there is a slight timing aspect to this as well.
No, but you are submitting. Are you planning fresh capex because more subvention is available?
So in this current scheme, yes, we will be beneficiaries. The 2,000 odd crores that was announced by the CCEA, yes, we're one of the companies that will benefit from that. I anticipate about 120 odd new applications that were approved with that scheme by the CCEA 2 weeks ago.
No, the reason we're asking you about funding requirements is because you are sitting on a debt of almost 1,000 crores. I mean, as of March, the debt was about 930 odd crores. Should we expect that to go up over the next, say, 6 to 12 months?
No, very marginally. And in fact, that total number includes our working capital debt. So as you know, the sugar industry is suffering from massive stocks. So a large portion of that is actually just working capital. Sugar that is lying in bags in our godowns, and as we liquidate that debt level will come down very, very dramatically. Our long-term debt position actually is much better, and the position is much better. However, I think for the foreseeable future, let's say the next 4 quarters at least, we're going to have very high short-term debt positions because we've got a lot of stock, and that stock can't get liquidated while we have quotas and restrictions in terms of quantitative sales of that sugar. So will the debt go up? Yes, a very small amount with our new distilleries coming up. But the overall scenario is looks daunting, but actually isn't it, because it's all short-term and sugar stocks that are in our godowns.
Mr. Sawhney, we'll leave it there today. Thanks a lot for joining us. That's Triveni Engineering. The Bank Nifty is really in a big bull zone. Just pull out Kotak and HDFC Bank. These are the two biggest components right now in terms of helping the Bank Nifty. Kotak, fresh breakout, 2% higher on that. HDFC Bank, just first sign of minor profit. Minor profit taking on the Bank Nifty, but you can't rule that out after 2,000 point rally in a very short period of time. Mitesh Thakkar back with us along with Prakash Kaba. Mitesh, what's the call now? Just stay long or book out, and how to approach individual stocks now?
So Anuj, we booked out today and slightly at lower levels than these, and I'm not sure whether that's the best thing to do, but when you're getting a 450 point kind of profit in 5-6 trading sessions, I think we were tempted to take profit. Similarly on the Bank Nifty, closer to 1,400 plus points, and we're extremely overbought on the intraday charts as well. So at some point in time you take that call of booking out. Though I think there is a possibility that the market could keep going higher, but on balance I believe that the odds are in favor of some kind of a dip happening. Though I've been saying this from Friday afternoon, it's not happened, but I think that's the way you trade. So for the time being, I believe that a good trading stop would be today's low if somebody is still holding it out. But otherwise, I'm also comfortable booking out, which is what we've done with our positions. That apart, the stock calls right now are a buy on Asian Paints with a stop at 1442 for targets of 1475, and BHEL is a buy with a stop at 67.85 for targets of 70.5.
Okay, if you have to choose between Kotak and Axis, which is the better one to bet now?
Long-term Axis still looks good to me. Short-term, I think Kotak is something which I had recommended early in the morning today as well, because it's given a fresh breakout. Getting past 1300, 1310 was a very important event. We were looking at 1350 as the target. That's been met. But wouldn't be surprised if the all-time highs of 1400 are being tested. So I think from a trading point of view, Kotak still offers some more continuation in the short term, though the long-term charts of now Axis Bank look very, very strong.
New highs on Reliance as well this morning. The move on Reliance, Prakash Gaba, it has been phenomenal over the last 4 months. It's gone from 980 to almost 1400, less than 6 months. You expect further upsides there? And what are the other stocks that you'll be looking at this morning?
In fact, I was thinking of Reliance for giving at 1030. Since you spoke about it, I think it's going to levels close to 1380 zones or so. It's just going up higher. What we have seen is a short squeeze on Reliance for Friday. That will propel it much higher. I like two stocks. I certainly like Axis. Axis, I think, is heading to levels closer to around 765 zones, 760, 65, 770 zones. It's going up higher. Stop below 738 should be okay on Axis. Good momentum out there. Second is M&M. Looks like it could go from here. It's a cautious approach, very close to stop loss of around 695. Target 715. I hope it stays.
Some heavy profit taking now, actually.
Yes.
And the mid caps are now almost reduced to flat terrain.
Yes.
If you look at the losses in, marquee stocks like TTK Prestige, 4% down. Motherson Sumi, 2% down. Escorts were down. Bandhan Bank, 2.5% down. Ashok Leyland,
Yes,
1.2% down. I mean, these are marquee profit taking in such big names.
Eicher Motors, NCC, Apollo, Escorts has been a big stock over the last few days, so there's been some problem. Maruti, of course, news driven, so 4% down on that. This 11,500, we are here now. You perhaps would see some kind of profit taking, which would be healthy for the market actually.
Mitesh, you wanted it, it's come. Mitesh was saying that he was hoping he would get a dip. But is the dip in Maruti to be bought, Mitesh?
Lata, between this, I think, Maruti has given some kind of a breakdown on the hourly chart. So I would avoid trading it on the long side. And between the auto stock, I think the two-wheelers pack still, on an overall basis, looks much stronger. While I think, they are also overbought, but I think on declines, Bajaj Auto looks like the best stock for me to buy if I was a slightly short-term trader.
You don't have to buy autos when banks are available.
Okay, I'm sure even retail is waiting for any kind of dip to jump back into the market. So perhaps this is it, the kind of moves that you're getting on individual stocks. Maruti, in fact, the biggest loser now, about 4% lower on the back of those production cuts, possible production cuts. We'll take a short break on that note. Manisha Gupta will join in next with the latest commodity trades.
And anybody taking a long break can, for a holiday, can buy the dollar now. I mean, if anyone is planning foreign holidays, I've never seen it so cheap in some time now. I think it's a one-year low for the dollar. Yeah, we'll take that break and be back.